are talking to Justice right now.
Oh, you ruined that name. You are a disgrace to that name.
Yeah, right? I don't see CNN or MSNBC. Okay, so what brought you here today?
I'm here because I'm really discontent with the way that this country is going and the way that it has been going, and the fact that I'm a part-time student at CUNY and they just raised the tuition and I can't afford to pay for my classes, and people are getting evicted from their homes and the banks are getting bailed out, and meanwhile we're fighting wars that I don't support and I didn't ever support, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way.
Anti-imperialism.
I'm here to try and build something different with the people who feel the same way. So we don't all agree on everything, but at least we're trying to make something that could be an alternative and try and talk to each other, because I feel like a lot of times we don't talk to each other in this country, and in politics and in the mainstream media, no offense, we often see that people are really, polarized. So we're trying to bring people together for dialogue. I think that's what this is about.
So do you think bringing people together for dialogue, do you think you're being effective today?
I hope we're being effective. I hope that everybody who sees this comes out and tells their friends and comes and joins us, and that will be how we'll be effective. When we grow, we're just people. We're not anything bad. We're just people like you, like everybody watching this. We're all human, so we're all here to try and make something better. I think that's what's going to be effective, if people can recognize that and come out.
Join us! Join us! Join us! Join us! Join us! Join us! Join us!
Are you concerned about jobs mostly? What's your main concern?
I wouldn't say that personally. I can't speak for everybody. Everyone has different concerns, but I wouldn't say that I have just one concern. I would say that all my concerns are interrelated. I would say that the fact that I'm a student, the fact that I don't support the war, the fact that I am afraid of unemployment and afraid of losing my job, the fact that, all of those things, getting sick and not being able to pay for it, I feel like all of those things are related, and we have to recognize how they're related, and we have to talk about that, and we have to talk about how that comes back to Wall Street and why we're here, and the corporations that have the money to fix a lot of those problems, but yet somehow all that money is being concentrated in the hands of a few, while the rest of us are really pissed off.
Now, are you disappointed with Obama in any way? Because now we're still in wars overseas. Unemployment's up under his watch. People are still disappointed. How disappointed are you?
I wouldn't say that I'm disappointed in Obama, because personally, again, I just speak for me, I just don't feel like I ever expected anything different. I feel like all politicians are part of a system that is broken. But I feel like, that...
Why don't you run for office?
Well, because if I ran for office in a system that's broken, I don't think I could reform it. I think the best way to reform a broken system is grassroots power. Together and doing what I said before, dialoguing with each other and trying to build alternatives together.
So dialoguing, that's how you change things?
I think, yeah, by doing what we're doing here in the square, if you go around and you see people talking, people, trying to do a direct democracy process, and we're not doing it perfectly, we're messing up, but we're learning, and I think that we're trying to build something. We're getting food for ourselves, we're talking to people on the streets, trying to get them to help.
Getting food for yourselves, how do you do that?
Oh, we've had a lot of donations.
Oh, so people donate the food.
And we also have had people buy food, and we've gone dumpster diving.
You're going dumpster diving, that's not very sanitary, is it?
A lot of good food is made in this country, and a lot of stores throw out things because perfectly good food that is still, valid to eat.
What kind of food do you find in the dumpster?
But I don't know, why is that?
Yeah, what is this? This isn't about this. This isn't about this.
They're going to mislead you.
Call that journalism?
Look at him laughing. Look at his fucking face. Look at his fucking face.
Tell me if one of the CEOs of one of these Wall Street banks came out here, what would you tell them?
Join us.
Join us. To join us and to reconsider their position in society and the harm that they're doing to other people, and to really look inside themselves and find their morality and try and question he wouldn't, you know, start to rethink things or think things different. I don't think that that's going to happen. But, you know, I think what's more likely is that we're going to have a conversation with each other, and that we're going to, you know, be able to put pressure on them to change, because I don't think that they're down for something.
Everyone who's videotaping this right now.
Let's get rid of corporate funding in our politics.
If a CEO came down here right now and offered you a job, $150,000 a year, would you take it?
Tell him to shove it. Tell him to fucking shove it.
Like 150 grand a year?
Shove it.
To me, there is nothing more beautiful.
Where are the jobs? Let them come down here and offer us jobs if there's jobs for $150,000.
If there are jobs for $150,000, I would rather see them create like all of the jobs for all the people in the square. But you know, personally, I don't think that that's the point, because the point isn't whether they offer one job for one person. The point is that the system that they're part of is what is, you know, they have that money to offer to people, and that's not fair that those few people have the power because they have that money when the rest of us don't.
That's right.
You're just going to make a mockery of it.
Thank you very much.
Why do CEOs get bonuses?
Why do they make 400% more than the average worker?
Why do they make? Is that okay? Let me ask you a question. Is that okay? Is that okay? You think it's really okay? Let's ask you a question. Yeah, let's do an interview with you.
Why do CEOs get bonuses?
No, we're going to...
You're going to switch back to a man?
Just right.
Why'd you say the protest was a joke?
2 hours when she's on vacation. Was she?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Follow the Money. Hundreds of those lefty Wall Street protesters were rounded up and arrested this weekend. What exactly do they want? Fox News' Jesse Waters tried to find out. Take a listen to this.
What do you guys want?
Bring attention to the pervasive influence that corporations have in the political process.
We're trying to accomplish the demolition of capitalism.
I want to replace capitalism with a more just economic model.
What do you want to replace capitalism with?
Don't say it, bro.
The rich were willing to share. We could all live in prosperity.
I think the corporations have to revise the whole system of being so bound to their profits.
How does taxing the rich create jobs?
It gives us money to spend on products that could be made here.
If a CEO came down here right now and offered you a job, would you take it?
Shove it.
No way.
Joining me now is Ann Coulter. She's the author of Demonic and is here to make sense of all this. And let me reiterate a couple of corporate personhood, demolition of capitalism. If we learn to share, we can all live in prosperity. What do you make of all this, Ann?
All of those quotes could have been said in 1789 France before the French Revolution or the Russian Revolution, or with only slight modification when the Nazis were coming to power in Cuba under Fidel Castro, Hugo Chavez, in Venezuela. This is always the beginning of totalitarianism.
Are you sure, Ann? Are you sure they couldn't also be found behind one of Obama's economic cabinet meetings?
Well, yes, thus the point of my book, bringing together all of these mob uprisings with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party loves mob uprising. It's their path to power. And, you know, they always assume that the mob leaders will remain mob leaders and not end up like Maximilien Robespierre, beheaded a couple of years after the revolution began. That is often the way the revolutions go. But this is not how the most prosperous, free nation in the world was created. This is the molecular opposite of the beginning of this country and with the American Revolution.
Weigh in on Roseanne Barr, who was interviewed for RT TV, Russian TV, whatever that thing is, but responding along the lines of what's going on Wall Street. Listen to what she had to say about the bankers.
They should, you know, go to the re-education camps, and if that doesn't help, then be beheaded.
You just said it.
She is a comedian, so I assume that was a joke, though I must say there are similar protests to this in Israel, and if I only knew how to post photos at my webpage, you would see the photo in the middle of the protest. They have a guillotine set up. It really does all come from the French Revolution. And the one additional thing I'd like to say about Roseanne Barr, this nonsense of these people both being against Wall Street and pro-Obama. Apparently the Wall Street protesters want Obama reelected. How many times do we have to tell them Obama took in the largest haul from Wall Street any presidential candidate ever has?
In the history of candidates. In the history of candidates, Obama has taken more contributions from Wall Street than any of them.
And it's not just Obama. The Democrats always do. It's the damnedest thing that the Democrats get to take in all the Wall Street money, but then their supporters pretend like Wall Street supports Republicans.
Right.
Well, no.
And before
I'll
we lose
defend
you,
Wall Street, but they better start sending us the money.
Before I lose you, I want you to weigh in on Michael Moore, another liberal left-wing whack-a-job. Take a listen to him.
No, capitalism has hurt. Capitalism destroyed my town, Flint, Michigan.
No, I'm just talking about you personally, though. You personally?
That's me personally. That's my town. Those are my family. That's my friends. People have suffered as a result of the greed from corporations.
Capitalism destroyed my town of Flint, Michigan. I think the greedy unions destroyed your town of Flint, Michigan. Don't you think, Ann?
No, you're absolutely right. For one thing, he didn't grow up in Flint. He grew up in an affluent suburb nearby where his parents and his family lived very well off UAW benefits that now have bankrupted these car companies. Right. Michael Moore and his family are in the position of the first people to receive money from Bernie Madoff's fund.
Right. All right, Ann, I love having you on. I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.